Oh shit. Speaking of dice, I should get mine. I just ordered the Wild Mount Critical Role dice this week. They've been out of stock for a long time. I actually like the rounded dice. Yep. Oh, my mic's been on this whole time. Hi, everybody. Hey internets, it's Jake from Mini Terrain Domain, and this is episode 21 of All That Glitters, our ongoing Waterdeep Dragon Heist campaign. It's been a minute since we did this, so I almost forgot how to introduce it. That was my brief hesitation. And amateur hour, apologies if you could hear me talking or hear the dice, because I forgot to mute my mic. But that's just the way it goes around here. So, we are back. We've got the whole gang here. And in just a minute, I am going to turn it over to our dungeon master, Mr. Mike the Piper. But first, a couple of brief announcements. First and foremost, I am very excited to officially announce. I've teased this on different streams at different times, but it is now officially a real thing. Mini Terrain Domain has partnered with Initiative Coffee Company. You can now head over to initiativecoffeeco.com and you can pick up Metade, a Brazilian and Peruvian roast coffee that every time you purchase a bag of this coffee, it benefits Jasper's Game Day, which uses funds raised to help support crisis centers, local crisis centers, for suicide awareness and prevention. So I'm very excited to have partnered with Initiative Coffee and be able to offer this coffee. In fact, if you type in !coffee into the chat, there is a direct link to where you can get your own bags of Metade roast coffee. As it stands right now, Dwight and I are the only ones that have actually tasted this. We actually got to choose the roast. Dwight's a little bit more of a coffee snob than I am. So he aided me as we each put it through its paces, grinding it, trying it in different styles along with a couple other roasts. And we agreed that this was a nice, smooth blend of coffee. So it's not just something that we've slapped our name onto. And I believe if you actually go to Initiative Coffee Company, you'll see that Holly Conrad also has a partnership with Initiative Coffee Company with her Strix character. So I'm very proud to have Metade roast sitting on the virtual shelf next to those other coffees, as well as Initiative Coffee's regular roasts that they offer. So please, if you like coffee, head on over there. And in the future, I will have coffee to give away during streams, because who doesn't like coffee? I know some of you don't like coffee, but if you don't like it, don't enter don't enter the raffle, or enter it and give it to somebody that you know likes coffee.
Also, really quickly, that is for U.S. residents only. U.S. residents only.
Oh wait, you can't buy Initiative Coffee?
No.
Oh no! I did not know that.
So, you know what? I will caffeine vicariously through everyone who purchases this for an amazing cause.
As a matter of fact, are you allowed, if somebody were to bring you coffee in the States and give it to you, would you be allowed to take it over the border?
No, because that is considered a plant and or vegetable and would be subject to scrutiny.
What if you smuggled it?
Then I could get arrested and have someone's very, very big latex gloved hand in my bum. And
what if you didn't know you were smuggling it?
Then I would be very upset at the person who stuffed that into my bag.
Hey,
so yeah,
just doing what I can to get my Canadian friends some of this coffee.
I appreciate your desire for my butt violation.
Mike is going to be at the Canadian border doing his best Fletch impression. Metade!
Right.
All right. Well, other announcements will be coming during the break. Other than the only other one I want to say is if you head on down here on Twitch, down to the below the video, you will see there are a number of tiles that have various links, including to the Metade roast coffee. There is one for Jasper's Game Day as well, a direct link, because coming up on starting on May 11th through the 16th, 5 days, 40 hours of gaming streams right here on Mini Terrain Domain. All of that to benefit Jasper's Game Day, which is, as I said, to benefit the funding of crisis centers right here locally, since I'm running it here from Michigan. But Jasper's Game Day hosts events all over the country, and you can head to Jasper's Game Day through that link to see how you can set up a Jasper's Game Day event at your own gaming store or your own streaming event. So we're really excited about that. Well, with that said, I'm going to shut up. Mike, take it away. Oh, wait. One more thing. Domain dice. If you're new here, you might notice these funky little Waterdeep dragons and Platinum Suns. Just going to give us a few Platinum Suns there. I'll take them away.
Whoa. Yeah.
Some dragons. And we'll take them away.
Okay, come on. Yeah, that's right.
So there's a scroll down at the bottom of the screen that explains how domain dice work. That is a way that you, the viewer, can have a little bit of an impact on our game. We can spend one domain dragon to re-roll a d20 roll and take the new roll, or we can spend two of those and make our DM re-roll one of his d20 rolls, all the way up to a patron's blessing, which is 5 domain dice to turn a hit into a super crit, which is an automatic max double damage critical hit. And I would just like to point out that the only time that has ever been used was by this guy. No, you didn't do that, did you? That was Jeremy that did that. I was thinking that was you, Mike. Was that Jeremy that did that?
I once rolled 2 20s in a row.
Yes, you rolled. You rolled legit double crits.
Yeah, it was just like,
that's what it was. All right, now I turn it over to you.
This time for sure. All right, hi everyone, and welcome. Thanks for joining us on this Easter Monday. If you weren't working today, lucky you, jerks. But welcome to the most interesting and crazy campaign that we've ever done. This is All the Glitters. It is a mega campaign. What is a mega campaign? You must ask while you're shaking your pencil around. A mega campaign is when we take a group of players, this wonderful party here, and we get them from level 1 all the way up to level 20. And so for the first 5 levels, we are playing in Waterdeep Dragon Heist. And once they complete Waterdeep Dragon Heist, provided they all live, actually, even if they don't, we'll just bring in new characters, and that's totally fine. We will go on to Dungeon of the Mad Mage, which I am very much looking forward to because there are so many interesting and creative ways to kill an entire party of players. And that's great. That's awesome. So I'm looking forward to all of their, I guess, 8th or 9th characters, probably by the time we hit level 7. So it's going to be rad. All right. So before we begin, I'm going to ask one of these fine people to go in their own personal Wayback Machine and give us a recap for a point of inspiration. And if they don't do it, then I'll do it. And I'll get a point of inspiration. And I know where they're going next.
I'll go if nobody else wants to. I did it last time, but unless anybody else wants to jump in, I'll go.
Go for it, Bevyn.
We opened up the last session by dodging out of the way of an out-of-control apple cart with some kids behind it. And those kids kind of helped us find who we were looking for. It was Fenris Stormcastle, who happened to be in the very same alley that the apple cart attacked us viciously. But we went into the Stormcastle house. Door happened to be open. It's very mysterious. We found, looks like there have been signs of a scuffle, some blood leading out of the building, but the tracks disappeared as soon as we got to the doors. Anna found a hidden alcove. Something was there, but now is gone. So something looks to have been taken from Fenris's domicile. And again, Fenris was the person on the map that we found on the, what do you call the thing? The little robot guy.
The Nimblewright.
Nimblewright.
Yeah.
So that's why we were trying to track him down. We don't know exactly who he is, but he was on the map. So we're trying to find him. As we left the house, we found somebody walking towards us, a tall woman in an emerald green dress, or emerald green cloak, long silvery hair. Turns out that it is Laurel Silverhand, the open lady of Waterdeep, slumming it in the slums with us slum types. But she told us that Fenris had stolen a magic item, the Stone of Golar, which leads to a vast fortune stolen by the previous lord of Waterdeep. And it looks like the Xanathar Guild stole it from Fenris, took it to the nearby hideout in the Southern Ward, and she told us she would be very grateful if we stole it back for her. So we cash in our reward for finding the Nimblewright, and went shopping, trying to figure out where the heck Asche went, because we did all this and it just seems like our new friend was just not there. We're not exactly sure. He just kind of ghosted us without warning. So that's where we left off. We're ready to buy some things and go see if we can steal some things back for Lady Silverhand.
Very nice. Give yourself a point of inspiration. For a second point of inspiration, we'll see how your note-taking was. When you retrieved the stone, where are you supposed to meet her?
In the theater and the dock ward.
Very nice. Give yourself a second point of inspiration.
I will gift that point of inspiration to Asche.
Oh, well, hey, that's cool. That's cool. No gifting. I'm just kidding.
It's inspiration. It's in the rules.
It's true. It's very true. Awesome. And very well done. And that was an excellent recap.
Speaking of gifting, Cajun Kevin has continued his gifted sub, which is why we have another domain die.
I'm gonna take that away because I'm the GM and I'm a jerk.
Too bad all the buttons are on my side.
Oh, you win this time, Jake. All right, but without further ado, let us begin session number 21. My goodness, 21 sessions. That's crazy. Of All That Glitters.
Still only level 4.
That's right. This is going to be a slow one.
Grind.
Asche.
Yes.
Your eyes flutter open. You're not quite sure how you've got to where you were getting. Last thing you remember is that you were heading down an alley. You heard someone yell, "Look out." You looked, you saw an apple cart, and now you're waking up in an alley. You're mostly buried by apples and other alley detritus. Matter of fact, if you hadn't moved your arm, you would probably have still been mostly buried under all of these apples. What I need you to do is I need you to make me an athletics check to try and unbury yourself, because as it stands, you're kind of stuck in there.
Okay, I got a 7.
You know what? Funny enough, you needed to beat a 5 because I wasn't going to be that much of a jerk.
It's also just apples. It's just apples.
That's true. And even though it's apples, also pieces of broken cart and everything else is the things kind of smashed in. So you're trying to kind of push everything up. You finally get up, take a big deep breath, and it basically smells like apples and garbage. You see someone walking down the alley. They kind of stop for a moment and look at you, and then kind of rush over, and you see it's this young gnomish woman. I mean, to many people, gnomes are almost childlike in their appearances anyway, so you can't tell if she's 19 or 106. I mean, gnomes are funny little group that way. Oh my goodness, are you all right? Here, come here, give me your hand.
Oh,
and she kind of reaches out her hand.
I think I'm okay. And Ganassi Asche just kind of sits up, kind of reaching out to the gnome to help kind of pull herself up.
And she like, despite her size, she pulls you up. So when you're standing, she looks like a child holding your hand, but she was able to, with her strength, kind of like pull you onto your feet.
Oh, you're a very strong little gnome. I mean, not little. I don't know if that's not. Is that?
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
It's not important.
Sorry.
Hey, wait a minute. And she kind of pulls out this little like notepad, and she kind of like looks and kind of looks at you.
What?
I think I know you.
From where?
Well, I mean, not personally. I mean, I haven't, we haven't actually met, but you were walking around during the parade, weren't you? You were asking, and I overheard you were speaking to some of the guards. You were asking about the Muddy Paws place. Isn't that right?
Yes. Oh, thank God.
I knew it.
You know what I'm talking about.
I do. And she kind of reaches into her doublet and kind of like pulls out this, what looks to be like a small little like hardbacked card. And she kind of like reaches up and hands it to you. My name is Nydia, and I work for the Waterdeep Wazoo. We're a local daily newspaper here in Waterdeep. And, well, I just wanted to say that the Muddy Paws place has been quite a bit of a story to me, and I've been trying to investigate it.
Oh, well, I guess... yeah, what's going on? I keep asking for this place, and nobody seems to know where it is or can tell me anything about it.
And I know exactly why. Here, come with me, we'll walk and talk, and I'll take you right there. And she begins to kind of lead you out of the alleyway. And as you're walking, you see my second grandmother, 3 times removed on my cousin's father's side. Well, you see, they knew an earth elemental, and, well, things got a little bit, and, well, there's always been a little bit in our family history where we've been a bit sensitive to earth magics, the plane of earth and all that.
Yes.
Anyway, thing is, most folk probably don't know about it, because I think there's earth magic that's keeping people from remembering what they ought to remember, but they're forgetting what they need to forget, because all about the Muddy Paws. Here. And she keeps walking. And you guys walk down, as you guys are walking down the high road, she stops at, it takes a good like 10, 15 minutes. She stops at this small little kind of almost like a lane. And it says on it, the force bar. Right. You'll see what I mean. And she kind of takes you into this one spot. And, okay, now I want you just to stand right here. And look down at the far end of the alley. What do you see? And
I'm very new to the city. I only have a few friends. This is making me very...
No. Look, see. Look, you look down there, right? But
yeah.
But, okay, and it just looks like a few houses, right?
Yeah.
Just looks like a few houses crammed together. Okay. You're a fire genasi.
Yes.
You're from the elemental plane of fire.
Yes.
And you draw your magic from the elements.
Okay.
Now, this is what I want you to do. Is I want you to reach in deep with your elemental force, and I want you to look down the end of this alley. Look straight down and tell me what you see.
All right.
And I need you to make me a perception check.
All right.
And it'll be with advantage.
Okay. That's a 13. A 6. Perception. 14.
Cool. As you're looking it just seems like a bunch of rundown old homes. A few people kind of like wandering around that don't look very. They don't look like someone you'd want to sit there and have a conversation with in this very alley. As you see it almost looks as if it starts to shimmer, like the whole area starts to shimmer, kind of like when you see like like pavement on a hot day and it looks like there's water but there isn't, just that light refracting. And the light, as it begins to refract, kind of starts a ripple, but it looks like a ripple in what reality you can see, until eventually it kind of pulls away from itself, and you see what looks to be a dilapidated sign that says Muddy Paws. And you can see a few people walking in and out of it, but mostly you see people, like a few people walking in at a time, and no one else is coming out. But when you were looking at it before, just looking at it, you didn't see anyone.
Whoa. Ashe, for a moment, like reaches up to rub her eyes. She's not used to using her power this way, or didn't even know that it could maybe get through what she currently assumes is an illusion. Why are they hiding this place? Also, wait, before we continue, did you happen to see anybody with me? I don't know how long I've been out, but there was this half elf, there was a human, Tabaxi, of course. Have you seen any of them? Because I don't know where they went. And
no, I'm sorry, I haven't seen anyone like that. I was just passing through, and well, I was looking to see if maybe I could cut across. I wanted to spy more on these folk here. They're up to no good. You see, I've been watching them every so often, and here's the thing: I see folk going in, but I don't see any folk coming back out again.
So either they're staying there, or there's just another way to get out.
Well, either that, or I'm thinking maybe folk are being kidnapped and put in there, but I don't know how.
Well, if you want to check it out, I could pretend to kidnap you. And she just kind of like feels bad when she says it.
That's the thing. You see, there's something weird going on, and it's hard to tell, but I've seen a few folk who wear these robes. They're like brown, but they've got big hoods, but the hoods have either a red band around the hood, or it's got a yellow band. I'm thinking there's more red bands than yellow bands, so I'm thinking the yellow bands mean that they're important or something, like leaders, but they're very, very strange. Lots of chanting and moving strange, almost like some kind of a cult.
It's not anything I'm familiar with here, but she turns away from the lane just so they hopefully look a little less suspicious. I feel like my friends might know, well, the people who I was with might know more about it. Potentially, they've been here longer than me, and they've been very tight-lipped about some possibly shady things going on.
Sure. And well, I mean, if you can meet back up with your friends, that would be good. And hopefully, maybe you could find out what's going on. I'll pay good money for any information you have. This will be the story that will finally put me on the map.
All right, then.
I can't pay a lot, but I can also help in any way I can. I'd be a full-time reporter with the newspaper, and well, I can give your adventuring party great praise or something like that.
Well, I mean, what are you thinking of paying? I mean, there's a bunch of us. There's 5 of us here. Sorry.
Oh, right. 4. Oh, okay. I guess I could pay 250 gold. It's not a lot, but I mean, I'm not very wealthy. But I'll
Wouldn't
see
your
what I.
business be able to possibly fund it? Don't you think?
Well, no, the Waterdeep Wazoo is, well, all of us new reporters have to cut our teeth on stories, and if we do really well and we can expose something really big, and I think this is really big, then there's a good chance that I could be a full-time reporter. And if we get the guards involved, well, the guards can't really see this. I know you can.
Yeah. And that means hopefully I could break the magic somehow so other people could see it. And Ashe is just kind of like mumbling to herself. I mean, I don't see why not, but we just have to go find them. I think they ran an inn of some kind.
Oh.
I feel like I'd probably recognize it if I saw it, but I don't remember the name.
Do you know where it is?
Oh, shoot.
I mean, there's taverns and inns all across Waterdeep, and, well, it's a big city.
I don't remember. I don't remember. I got hit by an apple cart.
Touche. I'll give that one to you. I'll give that one to you. Okay, well, do you remember how you got to where we got to, where I found you?
Oh,
Because you were in the trades wards.
I remember something Steam and Ashe and Steam, the armorers, smiths that were like right near them.
Do you mean Steam and Steel?
Yes, Steam and Steel. There we go.
Oh, no problem. I'll take you. That's in the North Ward. I heard there was a new inn or a new tavern opening there. Come on, I'll walk you back.
Thank you. Oh, thank you so much.
And Ashe, as you're finishing telling this story, how you actually, better yet, how do you finish this story to everyone else now that you're all seated at the tavern, drinking and talking about it? How do you finish this little anecdote off to them?
So we've met up again, and now I'm explaining what happened.
Yeah.
Correct. Okay. So, this little gnomish woman, she's not there now, I imagine. She's off on her way. Or is she there?
No, she's gone.
Okay. So I met this gnomish woman, Nydia, after you guys left me at the scene of the accident. But she actually found where Muddy Paws was, that place that nobody seems to remember. And we discovered that it seems there's an illusion on the place, and she is a reporter. She said she'd pay us if we go in and maybe get some information on the place. There were people in cloaks with red bands and yellow bands. I don't know if that rings a bell to anybody, possibly. But it looks like something suspicious is going on there.
Does that ring a bell to anyone? The cloaks?
I mean, I'll tell you what, if anyone wants to give a shot, make a religion check. Bring out the dice tower.
I feel like the only religion that I know is what I learned from Yaria.
What'd you get?
0. I rolled a nat
dang.
1 and I have a -1 to religion.
Woo.
I'm not even sure what religion is.
Yeah, what is that's a philosophical thing.
Hey.
Well, those guys are just going to a costume party.
Hey, look, I never understood what Kiaria was doing at the temple. I don't know why they got mad when I climbed the temple.
All right. That was good. And don't worry, I didn't forget. Anna, what'd you get? Oh wow. Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
All right. Did anyone else roll, or is it just you two?
I got a 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
All right. So with that 19, okay. You don't know 100% what sort of thing this might be. I mean, generally, people don't normally. The only time that individuals all get together and wear the same kind of robes or anything would be in any temple that you've been in. So you can think to yourself, hey, these seem like robes of a sort, but there's no real temples that are kind of being put out of a pottery studio. So something seems fishy, like and with that roll, I'd say like it wouldn't be too much of a stretch to say, it kind of seems like a cult, and it's kind of weird that people are going in and just not coming out again. So something's kind of funky, and not uptown funk, but definitely downtown funk. Yeah, I hate myself just as much for that.
That's really bad.
I know.
And they don't look like the figure that was cloaked that approached Anna, do they? No. Or
No.
like from that description?
No. No, the individual that approached you, that had the hood and everything else, and the kind of mask like completely covering their face. That individual, though they were wearing a hoodie, they also had like leather armor on, and this armor was like, it seemed to have been cinched in places, so it's almost as if when this person moved, it was like there was nothing, like you couldn't hear a thing. Put your stealth to shame, and you're good, you're really good, but they're better.
That's debatable.
Well, I mean, so yeah, that's kind of what the vibe you're getting.
So I mean, where did you guys go anyways, that y'all would leave me in a pile of apples in such a hurry? What happened?
To be fair, we didn't really see ya.
I kind of assumed you had gone off looking for this muddy paws thing you kept looking for.
No, apparently. Well, I mean, in the end, I did with the gnome, but I have no idea. I have no concept of how long you guys have been gone.
It seems to me that whatever transpired seemed to have benefited you very well. You found what you were looking for. If we had unburied you from the apples, you would maybe never have found what you were looking for. Yeah?
That is true.
So in a way, we did you a favor.
Favor? I wouldn't put it like that, but regardless, what are we going to do about this place? And I am actually curious about what happened while you guys were out and about.
Oh, we take a look at this, and I say take a look at this, and then I mysteriously start attaching these metal things to my feet for the next minute. So I say, take a look at these. So if anybody else wants to talk while I'm doing what I'm doing.
We just, tied up some loose ends. Some jobs that needed to be done. That kind of thing. Oh, and we need your help in infiltrating the Xanathar's Guild.
Oh. What is Xanathar's, and how can I help?
Well, it's kind of like they're not the nicest people, put it mildly, but they have something that someone else wants.
All right. Why me?
Well, you've proved yourself pretty useful. You seem to fit right in with our little bond here. We think you could do us a lot of help.
Yes, I especially in return for the room and board and everything that you guys have offered, I am very willing to help you. And at least now that I know where Muddy Paws is, I can always return there on my own. So, it seems you have to get something. But what is it, Xanathars? Yeah.
Well, if nothing else, you would be a great distraction.
I could do distraction. I can definitely do that. And Ash is very excited.
Great. Right. That'll come in handy. And, right. Well, we're looking for a rock, a stone, a pebble, something like that.
Even I remember it is called the Stone of Golar. And if you ask me, and I stand up and I'm now 3 feet taller, it's quite the tall order.
Oh my goodness.
As I am now standing on stilts.
Anna wants to kick the stilts when you say that.
You know what? Make an unarmed attack with double advantage. I'm kidding. You really want to do it, don't you? You're like, no.
I will not object.
Anna's gonna kick the stilts. Oh.
It's not with advantage.
No, I know. That's only a 10.
Haha!
Contested roll.
Even with stilts, I can dodge you. I am quicker than you.
Yeah, I think.
How tall is he now?
That you're probably 8 feet tall.
Let's see. I said that I had extended them to 3 feet, and I'm normally I think 5'9". So yes, I'm 8'9".
Good Lord. Yeah, you best watch your head up there. Those rafters are going to get you.
I was going to say, I imagine I just grab a hold of the rafter and just kind of pull the stilt up when Anna kicks at it.
And you can, because it is a 10-foot high ceiling.
So,
thankfully.
I mean, I do very much like these stilts, but yeah, we found a couple of things. Had we gone shopping in the interim? Was that implied?
Yes.
Yeah, it was implied that you done.
Okay, so the only thing I would have wanted to do is get a pouch of pipe tobacco.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got that smokeless pipe.
Fair ball. Well, it's not smokeless. It's matchless.
Or matchless. Sorry, matchless.
Yeah. So it's like a lighter and a pipe. So yes, bro, you do vape.
I need to change to my when I smoke my pipe, I'll switch out my background for the Vape Nation.
There you
go. But I also take out of, as I sit down carefully and actually remove the stilts because they are highly impractical right now. I do set the other sort of backpack looking thing on the table. We also got a hold of this parachute. I think it's kind of like a pair of pants, but you wear it on your back, and it's supposed to help you to not get hurt if you fall from a great height, I think is what she said.
What an interesting contraption. I've actually never seen one of those before.
I don't have a need for this.
Oh, I'm good. I got that I've been working on my feather fall. So I know I'm good.
I also have the feather fall. But Anna, perhaps Anna, you like to chase after my tail when I am climbing up to the very high places. Maybe you should have this parachute. Or we can just leave it here. You don't have to roll your eyes so loudly at me. Jeez.
She just glares at you. She doesn't even say anything.
And then Jake the player was stabbed in the night.
I'm just saying we've got this parachute if anybody needs it. I guess I'll just keep it into my bag.
Hold on to it for now. Who knows? All right. So we need to go get that stone. Where are we headed?
Really, guys?
We're going to go to their warehouse, their place of operation.
It's down by Spectre Walk and Carter's Way.
Right.
Bevyn, give yourself another point of inspiration, because that's chef's kiss.
This feels like an exam.
I know. I know.
I'm over here just trying to read my notes, my handwriting. I write like a cat. Oh, not even a pity laugh or a groan from that one.
No.
Wow.
Tell you what, take 2 points of con off you.
What?
I'm just gonna go curl up in the corner.
No. Yeah, at this point.
I just lost another of my 9 lives, I think.
No, you're not gonna take 2 points of con off. All right, so you guys are heading down.
Don't see why not.
I think so.
Wait, what time of day is it?
I was just gonna say that.
At this point, it's probably mid going on to late afternoon, so it's probably about 4:30, almost 5 p.m.
Right. Maybe we should case the place first and then come back later on.
That would be the smarter thing to do. I tend to get ahead of myself. Sorry.
I don't know. We've cased the place before and still got into all kinds of trouble when we got in there.
There is that. But hey,
But I suppose
spoiler
it's better to have an understanding of where we are going than to go in blind. All right. Whether necessary or not, I have secured my stilts to my pack.
Okay. So if everyone's got their stuff, the only question is how you get to Spectre Walk and Carter's Way. Do you want to take a carriage or do you want to walk?
Walk.
Walk. Okay. So walking, it'll take a little while.
Oh, okay.
Because you're probably looking at about a 45 to an hour walk, give or take.
I think Anna would want to take a carriage if it's that long.
That's not a problem to me.
Sure. So it'll be 3 silver per person.
All right.
And you see plenty of carriages going, around the high road and Delzorn Street. Basically, there's carriages everywhere. And sure enough, as you flag one down, takes you all the way down and drops you off on the high road and Spectre Walk. And you're there probably in about 15 minutes. So, I mean, it takes a ton of time off your journey. Cabs are great. So the area around the Southern Ward is fairly, it's fairly busy, although it seems like you may have missed the rush. Many people, basically like cross-country coaches and even groups of adventurers seem to pour in a lot through the southern gate. So I mean, you see groups of like mercenaries and nobles who have come from like southward up into Waterdeep. Many areas around there seems to be many areas where there are just like lines and lines of these coaches, just all up and down like the high road and on Coach Street, which has like several several places just for these drivers to go in. Just think it's like every building is a truck stop for these cross country coaches. They just come in, stop, walk their horses. There's like a place to reshoe them and like they can eat hay and everything else. But it's kind of like that way to keep most of the traffic to a minimal in Waterdeep proper. But as you enter the Spectre Walk and begin to walk down, you see Carter's Way fairly quickly, and you also see the alleyway that Laryl Silverhand had mentioned, kind of just off to the side. As you walk in, you're kind of looking for it, and you're having a bit of trouble with where this kind of door, this seemingly like kind of old door that seems to go to nowhere, is. And what I need everyone to do is to make me perception checks.
Perception.
11.
Okay.
18.
Ooh.
21.
15. Oh, geez.
All right. So both Six and Anna, as everyone's kind of looking around, there's lots of noises and the wind is still picking up. So, I mean, it's kind of a pain. But Anna and Six, you are able to kind of see, it looks to have been an old alcove from times past, just kind of set into some buildings that it seems like the buildings were built kind of around this kind of little, like kind of strange alcove that opens, like goes into a stairwell. It's been caged off with bars, but you see that the lock has been like long rusted through and broken off, and the door kind of just sits slightly ajar. And with your role, Anna, you notice it's small, but you just see it. You can see a circle with 10 equidistant lines kind of in the corner. Blended well, but not very well.
And so, sorry, does this place go like all the way around, or is it just kind of like this, just the one
It's
side?
it kind of looks like an alcove set like into like two buildings kind of come across, and then there's this kind of like little strange alcove. And it at first it just looks like a little niche, but then as you get up to it and you kind of really look at it, you see that it's actually a very clever staircase that goes down, and there's a set of bars that or like a locked, like a barred door that was locked, but the chain's all like rusted to hell. The lock's all like in pieces on the ground, and the door is just kind of like slightly open.
You'd think if this was an hiding spot, they would do a better job at making it a little more secure.
Maybe that's how they make it secure. It looks like it's just a unused old passageway or gate or whatever.
Yeah, I feel like I'm not seeing what you're seeing. What are you looking at? And Asche is just like peering down, a little confused.
And is going to point this out, as well as the circle with the spokes.
As soon as you point out the circle, I'm just kind of looking over your shoulder, like, yes, I totally saw that that symbol there as well.
Right, it was completely obvious. Any
Yes,
idiot
that's
could
what
see it.
that's what I'm saying. I totally saw it.
Right, good. And I wish they would have. Looks like we can't case the place out very well since it's, and she just like gestures to the fact that there's nothing here but like that little opening.
So are you suggesting that we should maybe just go in?
Or try to draw them out.
Not too sure about that.
Well, you need a distraction, right?
Well,
What if I were to go in very sneakily so that nobody can see me? Just slowly, just kind of go in just a little bit. See if I can get a sense of what is inside there.
Dix, I think it's a great idea for Anna to sneak in and see if you can get a sense of the place.
But can Anna make herself invisible?
What? Can you make yourself invisible? Ashe just looks at Six like incredulous.
I can make myself invisible.
right, he thinks he can use magic instead of his skill.
No, it's a little bit of both. If I'm invisible, nobody can see me. Plus, I am very stealthy. I'm very sneaky and quiet.
Do I need to remind you of the box?
I'm sorry, what box?
Yes, what box?
Six thought it'd be a great idea to step on a box and make a lot of noise in that warehouse.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
Six.
that was so long ago. You're still holding that against me. That was like 2 lives ago.
Right, but still a rookie mistake. And that says a lot.
Right.
No.
So, Anna, do you want to try and get a look?
Gladly.
Hold on
Six,
a minute.
You stay here.
Hold on a minute. You all of you are not having any kind of trust in me whatsoever.
Anna's already starting to open the door.
You open the door. There's a bit of creaking. I mean, it's old metal on metal that clearly isn't, constantly well maintained, which is probably a good thing, I guess. As you make your way down the circular,
as she walks past me, I just lightly brush my tail across her shoulder, and I mutter something under my breath, and she turns invisible.
But it has to be a willing creature.
Does it?
I believe it does.
It does not say anything about a willing creature.
Doesn't it?
The creature you touch becomes invisible until the spell ends.
Oh, okay. Then. All right. Well, suddenly, I mean, you don't really notice. You're focused on the goal, but yeah, you're invisible.
I think Six just said something
Probably.
jerk-like under his breath.
Yes,
Oh,
it's
it is
very.
6.
I very much was muttering under my breath.
All right.
As you kind of go in, and you kind of make your way down, the stone steps seem relatively well maintained, as opposed to this really crappy door. Soon you see why, because even in the kind of dimly lit area from the sun, like the last bits of sun kind of peeking in through the door, you see a much newer and much stronger steel door with a very large padlock on it.
Anna's going to go up to that door and listen to see if she can hear anything, but also inspect that lock. And she's actually she wants to look at it first to see like how difficult it would be to pick, but then also maybe just try a trial run to pick it?
Sure. I will say though, as you do approach it, the other thing you notice is that there's a large sign. But you don't really need the sign because you also get the smell. But you see a big thing that says sewer access, authorized personnel only. And through the kind of small grate above, you can smell the very. You remember that smell of, and this time it's not like when you were in the sewers before, where it was kind of like old sewage. This smells like fresh, raw sewage. Yeah, I know. Dry heaves incoming.
That grate above, like it's above the door?
Yeah, well, it's on the door, but it's at the very top. Just seems to kind of like.
And how high is it?
It's about like the height of the door, like just the top of the door. It's probably around 6.5 feet. Like it's a very large door. The door itself is about 7 feet tall, and it's metal by around 4 feet wide. It's a bit wider than your standard door.
Okay.
Now, as far as the lock picking, or at least the trial, give it a shot.
Okay. Now I never remember what it is. It's just plus your proficiency. Is that?
Yes, it's Dex plus your proficiency.
Okay.
Which is redonk.
Oh boy. Okay, that is an 11.
All right. As you kind of get your picks in there and you begin to kind of roll around and try and get it, you think you've got the tumbler, like you think you've got that tumbler, and then you just kind of move the wrong way, and you hear the tumbler kind of collapse onto itself again. You're able to pull your picks out, so at least you didn't roll a 1. So there is that.
Yeah. But just upon inspecting it, how difficult of a time, like how intense of a lock is it essentially?
You would say it would probably take, you fumbled with it. Maybe it was the smell, but looking at this lock, it's like, this is an ordinary lock. Seems a bit better, but you should be better. And you're probably lucky that Six didn't see you.
Yeah. She's just going to try one more time just to prove it to herself that she can.
All right.
Okay, that's much better. Well, kind of. So that is a 11 plus 6, 17.
You try again, and you remember that spot in the lock that kind of causes the tumbler to kind of fall. And this time, just before it happens, you just catch it, and you just hear the faint little, and then the lock opens up.
She wants to open it up and just, if she can, just take a quick peek inside. She doesn't want to open it very far or even go in, just to see what's on the next side.
Sure. As you kind of peek ever so slightly, the door actually doesn't even make a sound. It's extremely quiet, which just shows that obviously they maintain the sewers very well in Waterdeep. Yay. You look in, and what you see are kind of what seems to be in sconces, though not flame. You see what looks to be kind of like a flameless light. Kind of strange. Probably some type of, low magic or something, just to produce enough of a light where it's kind of dim going along. As you step out and look down, you see what looks to be, or not step out, but as you look down, you see kind of a stone pathway approximately 5 feet out, and then you see what looks to be a fast-moving river of detritus and human excrement. It's raw sewage, hey? Yeah, so the smell hits you a lot harder, and it's pretty disgusting.
Yeah, so Anna is going to quickly close the door. And she doesn't want to lock it again, but if it's like if she can some way make it look like it's locked.
Yeah, dummy locked. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've done that before.
Yeah. She wants to do that, and then she'll make her way back up.
Okay. And you do so, and you go back up the stairs.
Right, so there's a door down there, and it was locked. No longer is locked, but we got quite a trip down there with some fresh sewage.
Ah, the sewers. We've had some right fun times down there. I turn to Asche and I'll be, it's a good story for the pint sometime, but you mind following us in?
Oh, goodness. Yes. Oh, I don't look forward to it, but yes, I'll go with you guys. I owe you that favor. Let's see what happens.
Just a case or just a point of note that, Anna, we only heard your voice because you would still be invisible.
Yep. I would have expected that she would have just scared everyone just by starting to talk.
Absolutely. Ash definitely would have jumped. What is that?
It doesn't faze Bevyn at all. Just another day with Anna.
Oh, I jump.
You're the one that casts a spell, and you're the one that jumps.
Yeah. I do that cat thing where they hunch their back and kind of turn sideways for a minute.
I'm not that scary. Jeez. All right. Well,
I wouldn't normally admit this if I could look you in your face, but you were much sneakier than I thought. I did not hear you come.
I will take that as a compliment. Thanks. And so are we going to do this now? It really, really stinks down there.
I don't think it will get much better with time.
No. Right.
Maybe that's what they're counting on. If it's stinky sewers, nobody's going to go down there poking around.
It is a very efficient way to keep prying eyes away.
But apparently not ours.
Oh, I hope you're gonna do okay, Six. I imagine your nose is still a bit more sensitive than the rest of us are. I think, right?
Are you making assumptions about me because I'm a tabaxi?
Yes. Yeah.
You are very wise, Ash. My sense of smell is far superior to others. And I imagine I look over where I think Anna is.
Talking about smell, do you know, are you able to tell when the last time anybody's been through here before we go down there and actually get hit with everything? I know you're not a dog, but I wonder if you can smell anything.
Well, I can certainly try. And I'm just going to try to I don't even know what I'm going to do. I think I'm just going to fake it.
All right. So you guys are going to head all down?
Yes.
Yeah, and as we're heading down there, I'm just kind of wrinkling my nose, and I'm actually kind of going, but I'm not actually sniffing in. I'm blowing out with my nose, just pretending to be scenting the air.
You getting anything, Six?
You all make your way down. Anna, I'm assuming you go first. You unlock the lock and push open the door. As you all step in, you all see this river of raw sewage. This kind of stone walkway. As you look to your right, you see that it kind of cuts out, like the wall kind of, or the floor kind of cuts off on an angle, and then just drops into this this puddle of poop. And to your left, however, you see this stone walkway continue, and you see what looks to be kind of a little curved bridge, which seems to go over top of a kind of another runoff channel going down to the left. And it's another kind of runoff channel of raw sewage.
Do we see any more of those of that circle with the marks on either of those little side things?
You know what? If you're gonna look for it, make me an investigation check. If everyone's gonna look for this kind of weird symbol.
14.
Okay.
16.
And I would imagine Bevyn's right behind Anna.
I got a nat 20.
Boom! Very nice.
Bam.
And you do, especially you, Ash. As you guys walk towards this little bridge with this sewage going in, it's kind of like a horrendous smell. You do see very, very faintly just the smallest little line, the smallest little symbol of this circle with the 10 equidistant lines and an arrow pointing down into this kind of other runoff pipe. And then just to let you know, this runoff pipe is probably about 5 or 6 feet in diameter. Well, actually, probably like 6 or 7 feet in diameter. It seems large enough that you could walk through without doing it. But of course, you're also going to be walking knee deep in not quite the good stuff.
Well, I see that little symbol thing is over there. Oh, God. That means we'll have to walk through this?
Right, well, let's just get this over with.
Oh, okay. Oh, Ash will head towards the sewage hallway.
I really wish I had left those stilts on.
You could put them on. You were carrying them with you.
Would have been great, but yeah, you can see the height that if you put them on, the stilts would do nothing.
It's okay. I have prestidigitation. I can clean us off if we need to.
All right. As you begin to trudge through this, I won't even go into detail because that's not cool. However,
that'd be pretty shitty of you, Mike.
Yeah, you definitely.
I will see myself.
However, you do get to kind of a strange point, and Anna, because you have the passive perception of like a demigod. Should have put a cap on that. You notice that as you're walking on the left-hand side and on the right-hand side, there seems to be two very strange things wrong with these sections of brick. It's almost like, you've got like this kind of dark, gross, moldy, crap-covered brick. And then you've got this brick that's like, hey, this was put here not that long ago. This seems kind of weird. And then you look on the right-hand side, and it's the same thing. There seems to be two doors here, two things here, and this is freaky deaky.
So it just kind of ends, and on either side they just
Nope,
become clean?
it keeps going. Like the tunnel keeps going, but you just see these two sections that are like, something's not right here.
How long does invisibility last?
Oh, I was just typing that in the chat. You will remain invisible for up to 1 hour, or until you make an attack or cast a spell, or if I lose concentration.
Okay.
Or you ask me to turn it off.
Great. Oh man, that's gonna be awesome if she can get in her first attack. Anyway, so Anna's gonna stop. I have a feeling that someone might run into her as soon as she stops.
I feel like Ashe should run into her. She's like, all right, let's go. And just follows Anna and bumps right smack into her. Oh my god, I'm sorry.
Well, there. Newbie, just hold on for 1 second.
Sorry.
Right. Well, look at this, and she would draw everyone's attention to these, to this section, these sections.
How are you drawing our attention to it?
She would knock on the. You would hear this click, click, click.
There's a sudden smear on the wall.
Look at these. Aren't these a bit odd?
Oh, could I
put her hands on one side? Do they feel like stone?
Yes, it does feel like brick. Feels like the same, except it feels a bit more hollow.
Can I inspect it, or I'm very tempted to just have Ashe try and pull one a little bit or press it.
Well, like I said, it's a big section, and they're all yeah, they all seem it all seems, and it's very like perfectly square shaped.
Large section. I want to try something. So when I was with that gnomish woman that I mentioned earlier, she helped me uncover a little illusion thing by me tapping into my elemental powers. Maybe that could help here. Maybe. Don't know what I'd roll for that.
So what are you trying to do? You want to like try and find the you want to try and like find the opening?
Yeah, I guess it would like still be investigation.
Yeah, it would be investigation.
Okay.
With but this won't be with advantage.
Got it.
So
all right. 19.
Though you try and tap into your elemental power to see if maybe this is somehow like it was in the alley, nothing seems to kind of pull itself out to you, though kind of like pushing down or moving around, you kind of do find one brick as you kind of push. Now, the other thing too is that I do need to know which door you're trying to open. So as you guys are walking in, you have the door on your left, and you have a door on your right. I'm not going to pull any punches on that. Kind of obvious. Which one do you guys want to open?
They both look the same?
They both relatively look the same.
But Ashe would turn to the group. I think I'll open this one. And she's looking at the one that would be to their right. Or at least do you guys mind if I try the door? I mean, or the whatever's going on with those bricks over there.
Go for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Anna's going to take a big step back into this.
And nobody notices.
That's true. All right, so you're opening up the one on the right, like as you're walking down the tunnel.
Yeah, like I'm drawing my hands across the wall, just kind of like, just testing for anything. Oh, come now. Don't give me that face.
So, as you push as the door kind of swings almost effortlessly on like as if it were on like a whole like track system, just opens up. You see a very interesting sight.
I feel like I've made a mistake.
Down below, you see what looks to be a beholder. This huge, massive, this mass with these eye stalks sticking out in all sorts of directions. It's actually laying on the ground, laying on its side. It's one huge eye staring directly at you, Asche. You see a small dwarf kind of huddled and what seems to be like kind of pulling up the skin, and he seems to be working on it. And you see what looks to be these ashen-faced dwarves. They seem kind of large and, well, they don't seem large, but they just seem like your standard dwarves, but they look angry. They look really, really angry.
Oh, would
Give
I?
me one quick sec here.
Okay, sorry.
That's okay. You see the three Durgar. They're focusing on it. You see a couple of them giving this one dwarf a kick. Hurry up! And one of them happens to kind of look around. Other than this what's happening in front of you, you just see like debris and dust and dirt and grime all over this room. One of the Durgar just happened to kind of take a look and sees you in this open door. And that's where we're going to take a break.
Oh, goodness.
When we come back from the break, we're going to roll some initiative, and there's going to be all sorts of pain and suffering and yay, fighting.
And we're going to bring the pain and suffering.
Sure.
Yes.
All right, we're going to take a 10-minute break, during which time there will be a video promo running and a countdown timer. 10 minutes, and we will return. Hey internets, it's Jake from Mini Terrain Domain, and this is The Intermission. Mini Terrain Domain, or MTD, is a channel dedicated to participation in the world of tabletop role-playing games. Whether we're designing encounters or miniature terrain, building worlds or dice towers, or just playing games, everything we do here is because we love this amazing hobby. That is why the mission statement of Mini Terrain Domain is simply imagine, build, play. If you like to watch live play or actual play D&D games, you can do so at twitch.tv/Mini Terrain Domain 3 days a week at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. On Sundays, you can join us for Cult of Personality, a long-running campaign set in the Tomb of Annihilation adventure setting. On Mondays, you can join us for All That Glitters, a Waterdeep Dragon Heist campaign guaranteed to be epic proportion. And every Thursday night, you can join us for Dawnbringers, the Forge of Fury. This is a series of mini campaigns going across the gamut of several well-known modules. Season 1, which is available on youtube.com/Mini Terrain Domain, took place in the Sunless Citadel, and Season 2 is currently taking place in the Forge of Fury. If you can't join us in the chat for our live shows, that's okay. You can usually catch the roleplay, or rather the replay, on YouTube just 2 days later. If you're a fan of what we do here and you'd like to support what we do, there are a variety of ways you can do this. First, simply follow the Twitch channel or hit the subscribe button on YouTube. Next, make sure you follow all of the participants of each game or show on their various social media platforms. To do this, if you're watching live with us on Twitch, you can simply type an exclamation point and that person's name into the Twitch chat, or on YouTube, you can look down below the information bar and all of their links can be found there. Finally, if you would like to provide monetary support, which flows right back into the production of the channel so we can continue making great content, you can join the growing list of patrons on Patreon. Additionally, you can also use Ko-Fi or Coffee to buy a coffee or two. I like coffee. But the absolute best way to support the channel is to follow and subscribe on Twitch and YouTube and join us in the chat. If you have an Amazon Prime account and you link it to your Twitch account, you can subscribe to one channel per month absolutely free. No matter what you decide to do, we are just happy to have you here. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more great content in just a few moments. Remember, metadata!
Hi everyone, I'm V and I have the YouTube channel The Crafting Muse. Please be sure to go over there and check it out if you too would like to learn how to make some tabletop terrain, paint miniatures, as well as some game accessories. I'm always happy to have new subscribers over there.
Learn the ways of the Game Master, the Dungeon Master, and delve into the minds of the players. If you're looking for adventure, excitement, thrills, and a dice-rolling good time, grab the modules each month and play the campaign with your gaming group with quest givers DM Scotty and DMG. They're taking you on an epic journey through the role-playing experience every Friday. You're sure to get hooked on adventure.
And we really liked the idea of creating adventures together, so we thought that'd be a lot of fun to share with you guys.
I didn't think this kind of stuff would come out of my brain. We are quest givers, and I'll see you in the next video.
Adventure Mixtape, a music and adventure anthology, is a collection of 4 adventures for the 5th edition of the world's most popular role-playing game. The adventures are setting neutral and meant to be seamlessly dropped into any world that has a large seaside city and a jungle environment. With a bit of adaptation, the environments could be changed to suit any group. In Treaty of the Tiger King by Kelsey Dion of the Arcane Library, a distant king arrives at the city to negotiate the peaceful end of a war, but the Mercenary Guild has other insidious plans for him. Will the players be able to thwart assassination attempts against King Rami and help him negotiate circles of social intrigue in order to finally end the war? In Madness of the Majestic Menagerie by Ken Brees of Burling's Beard, the famous Majestic Menagerie draws hordes of visitors to the metropolis and cultural hub known since time immemorial as Splendor by the Sea. But now the gates of the famous zoo have been shut, and the grand opening of the new section has been jeopardized by a spate of mysterious accidents and, it's whispered, grievous injuries due to uncontrollable creatures. Mr. Majestic seeks to hire investigators and troubleshooters who can keep a low profile to iron out any problems before the impending grand opening becomes a complete disaster. Do you have what it takes to uncover what's driving the madness that's befallen the Majestic Menagerie? In The Infernal Collection by Sharm Biswas, when an influential fashion designer is found dead days before a major fashion show, heroes are called in to solve the mystery, prevent any further destruction, and help the fashion house prepare for the show. Gorillas in Their Midst by Jacob W. Norman of Mini Terrain Domain is a pulp action adventure wrought with perilous challenges and high possibility of death. But what is adventure without danger? Of course, there is the lure of vast piles of unclaimed treasure and the accompanying fame that await those intrepid adventurers who would defy the odds and plunge into the heart of darkness. In this adventure, the characters will face raging river rapids, wicked waterfalls, poisonous plants, venomous vines, sinking sands, treacherous traps, and the vicious jungle demon itself, Awakane Gori. Grab your satchels, fedoras, and bullwhips. Adventure awaits. The Adventure mixtape also comes with 4 original songs inspired by and written for the heroic adventures herein. This collection of music and story is something unique. We had no better word for it than mixtape. If you ever received a cassette, CD, or digital playlist curated to take you on a memorable journey, then you'll recognize what you find inside this volume. Also included in the Adventure mixtape, courtesy of Kelsey Dion of the Arcane Library, are exclusive combat cards. Special cards that contain all of the items, monsters, and spellcasters found within these adventures to make running your adventure all the more easier. Adventure Mixtape, a music and adventure anthology, is available exclusively on drivethrurpg.com.
Cryforth, once home to the most wondrous kingdom the world had ever known, blasted to nothing in just a fortnight. It is here that the fiends of hell walk among us. It is here where all things die. Welcome to Cryforth. Demon invaders roam the landscape and have conquered all. The world is a ravaged and wrathful wasteland, where the old world lies buried beneath the blood and sand with its gods and its secrets. Water is fought over with blood and steel. Compatible with the 5th edition of the world's oldest fantasy role-playing game, this book contains all new character creation options, including all of the familiar classes with new aspects befitting the ravaged wastelands of Cryforth, along with new backgrounds, subclasses, spells, feats, and so much more. New races will allow you to play as the cursed Asche elves, the forsaken humans, the primordial incarnate, the proud orcs, the reptilian Suri, or the infernal-blooded tieflings. New game mechanics such as blood, grit, and effort give your games an intense focus on lethality and survival. Numerous roll tables full of ideas to help bring your games to life. Featuring incredible thematic art by Brandish Gilhelm of Runehammer Games, as well as Lloyd Collins. The people of Cryforth are not heroes. In Cryforth it is courage just to survive. Will you rise to face the tide of demons, or will you succumb to the hostile elements? Available now on drivethrurpg.com.
All right. Grab your D20s. It's time to throw down.
I've rolled worse.
22.
Nice. One.
Cassie, is that your initiative?
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's a 2.
I mean, I'm the one that rolled a 0 earlier, so.
Oh man, it really just stinks because I'm like right in front of the door. Like I'm just right there, you know.
18. Really, Anna? Wow. Ouch. Ouch. Last one. Okay, so then we've got 6, and then him, then you, then last one, and then finally. Okay. Bevyn, as the door swings open and you see the one Durgar look, you are laser focused. You kind of figured something like this was going to happen. It wasn't going to be this easy. Take a turn. What do you got?
So what exactly do we see again?
You see
the one Durgar?
You see three Durgar standing in a semicircle around one dwarf who looks like he's doing something to a beholder that seems to be lying on the ground. Its eyeball is just staring
Okay.
Yeah.
And they haven't seen us, or they have seen us?
One did.
Oh, that's right. They saw
Yeah.
her standing in the...
Yeah. So, I mean, all three of them are like, what the...
Okay. And what can you tell me a little bit about what the room looks like, or is it just...
Sure.
On a quick glance, what am I able to see from it?
Quick glance, it looks to be a 15 feet by 12-foot room. Seems quite large. There is a... Just going to go quickly back to the map. From what you can, from your vantage point, looks like you can kind of see what looks to be a tunnel and some steps that lead down to a further room, like directly ahead of the secret door that opened up.
Okay.
You see various boxes that are smashed up, busted up, just wrecked all over the place. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I guess I would have been. I'll make a quick go for my bow, and I will just take a shot at this Duergar that has made notice of us.
All right. Now, even though it would not normally impose disadvantage if you were up on the outside, because you're obviously in a contained place, there's no disadvantage in here. So
okay.
Just a note, we have an extra domain.
Initiatives that I earned?
Or inspiration?
Inspirations?
I was gonna say we just earned a new domain die too.
Nice.
And that's going to be a 18.
18.
Yes.
Nice. And yeah, that hits. What's the damage?
That is 6 points of piercing damage. And then I'm going to try and get out of the doorway, and try and get behind. Are there any boxes that are close by within 10, 15 feet or so?
There's not. You'd have to go like into the room, and even then, it's all been pushed
I'm just going to start moving. I don't know if I have enough movement to get to, but I want to try and find the closest like box or
into the room.
Into the room. Yep.
Sure. As you go into the room, though, you're going to be passing right by one of the Duergar.
Oh, okay.
So that would do a...
If that's the case, I'm going to take a step back and get out of the doorway then, but stay on our side of it. So,
okay. It is now the Duergar that noticed you, Asche. It is now his turn. He runs at you, and he goes just straight up for an attack. You see what looks to be a war pick, but it looks to have been like kind of cobbled together from other tools. And you see kind of a skull that's been kind of like tied up, and the pick itself is like coming out of its like open jaws. He goes to swing at you, and that is a 10 to hit.
Just misses. I have the AC of 12.
And you can feel it just whiz by.
And Asche would just lean back, just dodging it.
And then that's his turn. 6, you are up.
How far away is that guy?
From you, it's probably about 7 feet. So he's just outside of range.
All right, I will leap up, and as Asche is moving out of the way, I'm going to slide in, slashing at this guy with a blade flourish. That's going to be a 16 to hit.
16 hits.
And that's going to do, let's see, that's with my rapier, so that does 9 points of piercing damage. And because I did a blade flourish, I roll my bardic inspiration die, deal an extra 1 point of damage to him.
So 12 points?
So 10 points.
10 points.
And my AC is now 1 higher until the start of my next turn. But I'm a 2-weapon fighter, so I'm going to also slash at him with my scimitar. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. This Blade Flourish does not use a bonus action. So, yes.
So Blade Flourish is what, like a free action?
Blade Flourish is it's a subclass trait.
That is so
it's part of the attack action. It allows me to increase my speed by 10 feet until the end of my turn. And if it hits, I can do one of 3 flourishes. They do expend the use of the Bardic Inspiration die, but they're done as part of the attack action.
That is so rad.
And so that second attack is only going to be a 10 as I slash through with the scimitar.
Oh, a 10 to hit?
Yeah, 10 to hit.
Yeah, no, that misses.
But I imagine, I'm not really like on my knees, but with all the sewage, I imagine almost like sliding kind of in like, remember the old Sub-Zero in the first Mortal Kombat? Where you're kind of like in a power slide? And maybe I just don't quite control the slide, and I slash a little late with that second attack.
As you do that, you just catch a glimpse, Six. The second Durgar that was kind of like that you're kind of getting close to now after doing all these blade flourishes. He looks at you and kind of squints his eyes and kind of grins through like kind of chipped and broken yellow teeth, and then you just see he just disappears. It is now Anna, your turn.
So that Durgar that disappeared, that was the one that attacked Asche?
Nope, the one that attacked Asche is still getting all kinds of hurt. He's actually looking pretty hurt right now.
Okay, and he's the closest, and I'd have to pass him if Anna wanted to go further into the room. Is that right?
Yes, you would. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So Anna's going to run up to him and, but because she's invisible, would he hit her? Like, could she pass him?
As soon as you attack, you don't become you lose your invisibility.
Yeah, but if she wanted to move just past him and further into the room towards the others.
Yeah, I'd allow that. Because you're technically invisible.
Yeah. Yay. Okay. She would do that then. She would run in to that room.
Okay. So you zip past, and you see, well, there's only 2 Durgar remaining. For some reason, the other one, you don't know where that one is. But you see 2 Durgar. You do slip past, move into the room. What would you like to do for an action?
Can she get in close enough to attack one?
Yes, you'd probably be able to attack the third Durgar. Or you could attack the first one as well.
She would attack the one that hasn't attacked yet. So
okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, the third one. Yeah.
Yes. All right. So I have a question. And would you say that this creature is surprised? Maybe.
Because you're invisible, if you were to attack, yes, it would be a sneak attack. Because this creature wouldn't know where it's coming from, and all of a sudden there's a blade that materializes out of nothing. So yeah, if you were to attack from being invisible, yes, you can use all your fancy stuff.
Okay, because I get a critical against it if he's surprised. Okay, and I get advantage because he hasn't taken his turn yet.
Okay, whoa. I'm kidding.
Those are right there. Okay, well, that is an 11 on the die. So that's a 17 to hit with.
Oh, that hits.
Okay, and so that is going to be a crit. And how do you do crits?
hang on a second, because of course, something's happening outside. So just give me 1 sec while this ambulance of ambulanceness passes.
That's probably a good time, Megan. I don't know if you saw in the side chat, your mic is disintegrating. And unless Mike does it differently, I think we've been doing it the same way I do for crits, which is automatic max damage, then re-roll your damage dice.
And if memory serves me correctly, because you're an assassin, I think you get like an extra thingy on it or something, right? No? I thought it was an assassinate thing. I don't know.
Is my mic bad? Because I know how to change it, but it'll take a minute. But is my mic bad?
Yeah, it's bad.
Well, I'll tell you what. How about we just we'll finish up with your turn. Then when we go on to the next person, then you fix it, and then we'll just go right back up. All right. There's going to be so much damage. I can just feel it.
Or we need to have like just a effect that shows all the dice adding up.
I need more D6s. Seriously? 100%. All right. You're going to tell me what happened to the cameras. No, I'm just kidding.
We lost Cassie.
Me. This is true. Oh, wait. Is there a... Oh.
What are you doing?
No. Hang on. Well, I just thought, because V's not here, I'll do my own cleavage cam. Because I just feel really bad because...
No, that's Megan's neck that's showing in your window.
I know. Well, yeah, but I wanted to do a cleavage cam, okay? I've been working on these bad boys for a while. I just wanted to... Anyway, fine. So, tell me how you just one-shotted this guy. Because you just exactly, did exactly enough damage to take him out. Is your microphone not working?
I think she's restarting it.
All right, gotcha.
Sorry. Hello?
Yo, hey.
Okay.
Hey.
And Cassie's back.
Hey.
Yay.
Hey guys, sorry about that.
You're just in time to hear how Megan one-shotted this
Yeah?
Durger.
Tell me.
So I imagine that where they are is a bit down from where we were, right? There's a ledge. So she's gonna go full Assassin's Creed on this Durger, and she runs to the ledge, and she just wants to jump from it and just slices directly into the back of this Durgar's neck. And as she comes down and crouches, she brings the knife down the length of his pretty close to his spine and just brings it down. And yeah, she feels pretty good.
I imagine that looking even extra badass as you become visible at that moment.
Yeah.
I think even Six sitting there with in his stance is just like, holy shit.
And at that moment, the dwarf that was working on there, looking at everyone attacking, just begins to bolt. And you see him kind of run off what looks to be into a corner. And you hear these footsteps just up the stairs. You hear what sounds like a key going into a lock, opens the door and slams it. And he locks it. You hear the thing, the lock engaging. And then we are now at Asche. So Asche, you have a Durgar directly in front of you, looking a whole lot of worse for wear. And yeah.
All right. So she has 2 daggers, and being in such close proximity, I think she would whip those out and try to slice them. All right. Oh, that was a 12.
Not quite. As
Not
you
quite.
kind of like rake past really quickly with the dagger, the Durgar kind of leaps back. But as he leaps back, he kind of leaps back far enough away from all of you, and he kind of crouches into a defensive position. Bevyn, we're back up at you.
All right. So at this point, I'm going to head back into the room. Where is everybody in the room at this point?
Asche is directly in front. 6 is just slightly, like a little bit further past after kicking the crap out of that one guy. Anna just appeared out of freaking nowhere, and there's you, and then there's the one Durgar that you can see. He's not looking so great.
Is he the one? Is he the one that was right in the doorway, or is he?
He was, yeah.
Okay. So I'm just going to at this point I'm going to swing out, and I've holstered my bow at this point, and I've pulled out my 2 daggers, and I'm just going to stab with my daggers.
Sure. Yeah, it's gonna. I mean, you'll have to go in the room.
Yeah,
probably around 10 feet, and then just you can.
Yep.
Give him what for.
First one's going to be a 17.
Hits.
Okay. And then a 21.
I think that hits.
And 4. It's going to do 9 points of damage.
Okay.
And then, are there any others in the room, Durgar, that we can see after I move into it?
You can't seem to see any Durgar at the moment.
Okay.
Except for the one that you just stabbed twice.
Right. Okay. I will. Yeah, I guess I was going to cast help, but I don't really know what I would say to cast it. So, or I was going to grant help, but I don't really know what's going on beyond this guy. Then,
sure,
I don't think it'll actually work. So,
this one Durgar that has been shot with an arrow and stabbed and slashed at, he's not doing so good. He's barely got any gas left in the tank, but he's still gonna swing out with his pick at you, Bevyn, because he wants to put the hurt on you. And that'll be a 13 to hit.
That does not hit.
And he just swings wildly. Like you can see at this point, he's like, there's not much left of him.
That's 50 gold well spent in the beginning of this session. Because that was the difference right there.
Nice. All right, 6.
So is the same one I stabbed, or?
That's the same one you stabbed.
Okay, I thought he vanished.
No, he's just hanging on by this guy is hanging on by a thread.
Well, let's cut this thread. And I'm just going to lunge forward, attempting to pierce him with my rapier. And that is, I'm going to use a domain die because that was a natural 1. That is a dirty 20.
That hits. Don't even worry about damage, because even the very bare minimum that you could possibly do would be enough to finish him off at 1 hit point. Just tell me how you finish him off.
It's literally just an almost effortless lunge with the rapier, and I just push it right through his throat and almost as quickly draw it back out.
As you draw it out, everyone at this point sees this kind of shimmer, and this figure kind of comes out of invisibility. You expect it to be the Durgar, and it is, not surprising. Except this Durgar is the size of an ogre. His head just touches the ceiling. And you see this war pick now, which basically looks like a long sword on a stick that he is holding in his hand, in his huge, meaty, watermelon-sized fist. And he takes a look at you, Six. Actually, correction. He takes a look at you, Anna, because he's close to you.
Can I do my bonus action before he goes? Or is that
I
a
wouldn't
kind
say,
of...
I wouldn't say that you're close enough that
not to attack him. I don't want to attack him. I was going to Bardic Inspire Anna.
That's a little chintzy, but yeah, okay.
Well, I mean, I was planning on it because she's next in the order.
True. Okay.
I mean, it's your call. Yeah. It's your call. I mean, because it's kind of happening so quickly.
Yeah. No, it's okay. That's okay. Go for it. All the love.
I mean, it's literally just as he's appearing, just kind of reaching towards Anna, or turning towards Anna, and just with uncharacteristic concern in his voice, Anna, watch out! And that's a D6 Bardic Inspiration die.
Nice.
Which is good for checks, attack rolls, and saving throws, but not damage.
Oh, sweet. All right. He comes in full force and swings right into you. Just gotta double check here. And that is a 19 to hit. It's okay. Oh no. You take 18 points of damage, piercing damage, as this massive pick gets through your armor, and just you feel it, and it hurts. And you hear him just and he backs up, stares right at you. And interestingly enough, it's now your turn.
Anna staggers back. You can see the wind has just been absolutely just blown right out of her chest. She's heaving, and she actually even spits out a little bit of blood onto the ground before she looks back at this thing. All right, let's make you look like your friend here. And she's going to run at it, and she's going to try and slash at its legs.
Well, go for it.
I'm going to use a domain die because that did not hit.
That's a great idea. You should use up all the domain dice.
Okay. That is 19 to hit.
That hits. That totally hits.
And Art is one of oh, never mind. Okay, so that is going to be 8 points of damage.
Nice.
And then she's also gonna take the her bonus action to disengage and just use her remaining movement, if there is any, to back away.
Smart idea. Okay. As you zip out of the way, Ashe, it is now your turn.
All right. So upon seeing this massive creature, and Anna just going at it, she for a moment looks behind herself to see all the sewage, and rather than trying a fire spell, she decides to unleash Witch Bolt. So we're gonna try and do that. Let's see.
Sith lightning, my favorite.
Lightning. Let me clear a little space. Oh gosh. Oh dang, nat 20. Okay.
Oh goodness.
There's a nat 20.
Especially on Witch Bolt. Oh no.
Yeah. So
it'll be 12. Like, is it just 12 points or any other modifier?
it's I have it in front of me. Hold on.
All right,
1d12 lightning damage on each of your turns for the duration, which is at least 1 minute. You can use your action to deal 1d12 lightning damage to the target automatically.
Awesome.
All right.
So you already have 12 damage. So now roll the d12 again and then add that to 12.
Oh gosh. Sorry, the cat. Okay. Sweet. 6, so 18.
Nice. So 18. Oh, nice. How do you take it out? That's it. You got him.
Right. So she still, has some of her gear, and she pulls out, along with her little rabbit totem that she likes to carry, this stick that she's just tied like a simple red ribbon to, just to determine that it's a different one from any other stick. And immediately she just points right at it and just kind of screams at it angrily, and her hair looks like it's on fire a little bit. You could see parts of it kind of wisping around her shoulders as she's like, and the lightning arcs through the air and just perfectly kind of hits it right in the sternum, and then kind of fizzles out through its entire body, and you could smell this charred, burning smell, just barely detectable over the smell of all the sewage.
Nice. And as it falls, it also shrinks in size, going back to the size it was. Now, one thing I need all of you to do before we explore and possibly end tonight's session is I need everyone to make me a Constitution saving throw.
Is poop save?
Something like that.
15.
13.
17.
10.
Okay. Just give me one quick sec. All right.
Gamers Theater just subscribed with Twitch Prime, giving us another domain die. Catching back one of those. Catching back one of those that we used
one
already.
of the many.
Like the one that I used.
Yeah.
Or Megan used one too. Thank you, Gamers Theater.
Yeah, thanks, man. So as the dust settles, the only living thing inside here that could possibly bear witness to what had happened is this beholder. As you get closer to it, as the Durgar kind of rolls over and lays dead, you look now at this beholder, this creature, and well, it's not a beholder. Well, it wears the skin of one, or at least it looks like one. But underneath a kind of piece of this skin, you see gears. And looking closer now, you see that this eye, which looked very realistic, at least from what you've seen of these smaller versions of these creatures, looks to be glass. This whole thing seems to be some kind of mechanical construct. And as you get into the room now, you can also see what looks to be on the far left, or at least the kind of far section, you see what used to have been a wall separating was now broken down, and now the room was extended a lot further. You still see the one portal with stairs at like just a few stairs that seem to go down into another room further on. You see another area that Anna, you recalled the dwarf kind of running through this small passageway, and that's where you heard him running up the stairs. From the area with the now ruined wall, you hear what sounds like clawing. It sounds like clawed footsteps, and they're running towards you. And that is where we're going to end our session for tonight.
I was completely not expecting a construct beholder.
Yeah, neither was I. That's pretty dang cool.
Well,
we'll see how cool it is.
We'll see.
I know.
We'll see.
We shall see. We shall see indeed. Does anyone have proficiency in mechanics? I don't know.
I have proficiency in vehicles beholder type.
Oh, well then.
I've just written that in.
Yeah.
Beholder vehicles, the new way to get around.
Yeah.
We thought those Waterdeep Ubers were the way to get around.
I know.
Right. 10 headlights, 10 headlights just shining everywhere, all independent. Folks, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I had a great time. I'm going to have a great time with even more of this place because it's a horrible place. And let's hope that they can find the stone before they all die terrible, terrible deaths. Super happy to have such amazing players, and I am very grateful that I get to do this again next week. And I hope you'll all join us for All That Glitters.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, as Mike said, thank you to everybody who tuned in tonight. Thank you to the various people, Gamers Theater for the resubscription, Prupa for continuing the gifted sub from What You Looking At last month. And I think early on we had another continued, Cajun Kevin also continued a gifted sub from Star 19. So thank you to everybody who tuned in tonight. Thank you for all of that stuff. And as always, thank you to our incredible DM, Mr. Mike Thepiper, and to Cassie, Dwight, and Megan for just being a part of this campaign. Mike, we appreciate the work you put into this every week, and thank you for not quite killing us. We always joke and laugh about it, and then a enlarged Durager hits Anna, and I'm pretty sure probably came pretty close to killing her. So I was actually genuinely scared. So I do want to say real quick, I'm going to flash this up here one more time because this is brand new. We are very excited to announce the partnership with Initiative Coffee Company. You can head over to initiativecoffeeco.com where you can pick up your very own minted roast coffee. It is a Brazilian and Peruvian blend medium roast coffee, and every purchase of coffee of this kind goes to benefit Jasper's Game Day, with money being going directly towards funding of crisis centers for suicide awareness and prevention. So yeah, you can type in !coffee in the Twitch chat and get a direct link to where you can pick that coffee up. Otherwise, check out the links down below, and be sure to tune in every Monday at 8:30 p.m. right here on twitch.tv/mini-terrain-domain for All That Glitters. Tune in on Thursday nights at 8:30 for Dawnbringers, The Forge of Fury Season 2, and Sunday nights at 8:30 for Jolt of Personality, our Tomb of Annihilation long-running campaign. I think if you add together the number of episodes of All That Glitters and Forge of Fury, that's how many episodes we've played of Tomb of Annihilation. And various of these players can be seen there. Otherwise, we hope you have a wonderful night, and we will end the stream now the same way we end every stream. And you can say it with me if you want. Emitted.
Sure.